Yeah, truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Jam. Cooler and I'm flyer.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to A1 Forever Sports, the show that's cooler and flyer too. And it's just not me. I got two more with me. You already know Falcons football training camp has already begun, and we are excited to be here. It is A1 Forever Sports again. Like I just said, Chris Tipmore. I have my guest Bryce Lewis with me. You already know him from Believe in Hawks. He's talking some Falcons as well, and of course, one of my brothers, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Antoine Smitty Smith, representing Smitty Sports Machine. We're on here to talk a little Falcons football for you guys. Bryce, Smitty, what it do, fellas?
Hey man, glad to be back. Glad to be here. Training camp's now underway as we get closer
Indeed.
to the season. Exciting time for a lot of people who are fans of this squad, and I'm excited to see all the overreactions, underreactions, things we learned, things we didn't know as preseason training camp as we get into regular season. All of it goes on, man. I appreciate you just having me back on, man. Talk about it with y'all.
Indeed.
100. And now that I got my mic to work, yeah, football season is around the corner, man, and I've been waiting 6 long months, and we this close to seeing the football get tossed across the field, man. We get great news that we get 2 of our key veterans going into the season, so that's always good news. We get to talk about Michael Penix and what we expect for him in the preseason, because trust me, he's gonna get a lot of reps in preseason, and trust me, it's gonna be needed because we never know how the season's gonna shake out, man. And I'm not putting bad energy out there, but we always know anything can happen, mainly because it's the Atlanta Falcons.
Right. And what Smitty is talking about is pretty much our first topic, man, and that is Grady Jarrett, veteran leader Grady Jarrett, and Kirk Cousins, our quarterback QB1, medically cleared. Coach Raheem Morris said that they'll be on modified reps, similar to how they were in OTAs, but it's just a great thing to hear that coming from your head coach and also later on from your quarterback as well. Guys, how do you feel about Grady Jarrett and Kirk Cousins being medically cleared? Do it put some ease to your mind coming into training camp? We'll start with Bryce.
I mean, for the most part, biggest thing for me out of the two of them was Kirk. I felt like Grady was in line to be ready to go by camp. I think Kirk was the biggest guy who we need to know if he'd be ready to go. Obviously, he's QB1, so you need to make sure your quarterback's ready to go and be able to play when you need him to. So I'm glad that he's been cleared. Even Kirk mentioned it today. He felt much better than he did before. Even two months ago. So I think all of those things, all come together, and it puts us in a really good position with him being healthy, and then Grady's going to be up there, obviously being able to play. Obviously, they won't, like I said, push it too hard. Let him work his way into it a little bit, but he'll be able to work with the young guys, and also really get his foot underneath him in this new. Seems like another new defense that he has to learn, but at the end of the day, we know what his role is going to be disruptive, be one of our best linemen, and really lead the way for the young guy, especially entering his 10th season in the league this coming season.
Right.
Definitely agree with that, man. Those are our two leaders on the field. Kurt on offense, Grady on defense. You get back, like you said, the run support that we were missing last year. Had we had Grady throughout the last part of the year, I think it turns out a little bit different. But as they say, man, everything happens for a reason. Maybe if Grady is there and things go better, we'll still have Arthur Smith. So in that aspect,
think about it.
I'm kind of glad it wasn't that. But with Kurt, man, we knew the Achilles was coming along well. We saw him in OTAs, and now we get to see him in training camp. They said they're gonna put him on modified reps, whatever the hell that means. But to me, it's just probably not him fully stepping in the throws, just throwing the ball back and forth, and probably simulated game modes, if that makes sense. But whatever it is, just keep him working with those receivers to get that timing down. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's going to be about: timing, rhythm, and all that good stuff. And if they can get that down, when he calls audibles, everybody be on the same page. So, film room and reps is the most important thing for Kirk right now.
Yes, indeed, man. Indeed, my brothers. You guys have just really illustrated that just perfectly. And honestly, man, having Kurt back And just for him, I believe it's beautiful just because, in his mind, he's getting stronger. Like he even said he feels more athletic than what he did back in OTA. So that's a confidence builder. Just like you were saying, Smitty, as far as the modified reps, I just think it's just going to be about getting the timing and chemistry down, getting the verbiage of the offense down, different schemes.
Right.
That's what it's all just going to be about, not pushing him too hard because he is a veteran and you necessarily don't have to, push him too hard in training camp. He pretty much knows what to do. It is a different offensive coordinator, yes, but the system is still have some of the similar verbiages, So I believe, for
Right.
Kirk, it's going to be good. Having Grady back in that locker room, healthy, it's actually impressive. We wasn't saying we wasn't sure exactly if Grady was going to be ready at this particular time, but I'm glad to see that he is medically cleared. He'll have modified reps as well, which let me know that it's going to be other guys like these younger guys like Trice and Dorless, and also guys who's already been here like Harrison and TQ Graham and etc. That's going to be
Right.
getting some snaps in there. And Grady being able to be away from the game, looking at a different perspective, I believe he's going to be a better leader than he's ever been, since coming into this training camp as well, just because he's never had to, actually watch the games like how he did this past season. And it gave him a different perspective. So I just believe it's going to be a more wiser Grady Jarrett, and I believe it's going to be a confident Kirk Cousins as well. So it's going to be great,
Year
man. It's
10.
great, guys.
That's amazing. Year 10. And it seemed just like it was just yesterday he took his first snap with the Falcons. That's just how fast time passes you by. So not only would his injury help him with his leadership, but his time in the league. Every year, every player gets smarter. Their IQ rises, and then they learn how to become a veteran leader. And I think, Grady's going to do that this year with these young guys that's coming in like Dorless, Braylon Trice. He's going to have his, hand on both of those guys to teach them the ropes. So I think him and Ayamada have to step up big time as far as leaders this year.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Those two right there, man, are going to be so key to these young guys' development, and just playing the right way, going after the quarterback, playing clean, which what I mean by that is mistake-free football. And these two guys are some of the greatest that we can really have right now to teach some of these young guys, So excellent point, fellas. Excellent point. But we did hear something about Kirk Cousins. He did say something about preseason and the possibility of not playing in preseason. And of course, even he said it himself. This can all change at any given time, joint practices, etc. So we'll see what happens. But is it wise not to play Kirk Cousins in preseason, fellas?
I mean, I think, for him and his situation, obviously he's an older quarterback coming off an injury. And so when you have that, you don't really want to push that too much. It's a different situation than last year with Desmond. Desmond was a guy who probably needed reps just because of inexperience. Where Kirk, I mean, for the most part, he's played this game for a long time. He's been a starting quarterback for a long time. He's had success. So I don't think he needs to necessarily play in the preseason to necessarily show anything. I mean, because at the end of the day, they understand, if something happens to him, that falls on them. Kirk gets hurt, something happens, that falls on their shoulders, and now you're completely changing your plan. And Michael Penix has to be ready to go because he's gonna be tasked with getting them to the playoffs, and so that'll be its own journey in and of itself. So I think Kirk is a guy who maybe week one maybe could be a little rusty, especially just not playing the game in a while. But I mean, guys like that you always hear they get that first hit. You know what I'm saying? They get that first drive, first half in, and then they're back where they need to be. It's just about just going through it in live reps. And the joint practices help. Obviously, they're playing the Miami Dolphins, I think, in joint practices in a couple of weeks. Yeah. So that'll probably be his first time against another team in live reps. Obviously, you can't hit the quarterback, but just in a live setting. And so that'll also be really big for him. So I don't think this is too bad of a decision. I think this is the smart decision for the Falcons. He is your $100+ million man. So you don't want to potentially put him at risk. And then now that money goes down the drain. So, and then it provides opportunity to guys like Michael Penix and gives him reps that we're going to talk about more. And then obviously, Taylor Heineke, I mean, gets to, go in there and continue to show people maybe last year wasn't the Taylor Heineke that he thinks he is. He probably thinks he's a better player than that. Trust me. I remember guys, Washington fans who said, the Taylor Heineke I was watching last year was not the Taylor Heineke in Washington.
I mean, we knew that.
So that could be an indictment on
our head coach.
Arthur Smith. So, I mean, so we'll have to see. It'll be a good opportunity for those two.
Yeah, not having a quarterback coach kind of hurt both of those guys last year because everybody knows the quarterback coach is one of the key guys in the film room. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. But Kirk, man, coming back, like you said, man, when we get to those joint practices, he'll be fine. He's been in the league for a while. All he has to do is shake out the rust, which is why I said reps in training camp, OTAs, all that is important because that helps with shaking out the rust. Now, game speed, that's a little bit different, but at the same time, the game will still slow down for him because he's been in the game a long time. So once he catches up with the speed of the game again, which everybody does after injury, even Grady's going to have to deal with that. He'll be fine. So I have no worries going into training camp with Kirk Cousins at all. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, I remember what happened with Matt Ryan, and he didn't play that preseason, and we got blew out that first game. This is a totally different situation. One reason why I say it's a different situation, because one, we have a better coach. Two, we have quarterback coaches in place to help these guys along in the film room and on the field. So that'll help with the rust. When Arthur Smith was here his first year and we got blew out by the Eagles first game, I knew then it was a red flag. For
real.
Even though Penix and Heineke will play most of the preseason snaps, I think Kirk Cousins will be just fine, man. Just healing up, continue to get well, and be ready to go week one. Who do we play week one? Oh, yeah, that guy named Arthur.
Artie.
Week one against the Steelers.
Artie mustache.
He'll be ready.
Can't wait for that, man. You might as well do that.
Hey, I really can't wait for week. Right. So, like, for real, I mean, and by the way, can we disagree? Hold on, make sure. Hold on. Can we agree that we have to win that game? I think we have to win that game.
I think it'd be a big morale.
I'm trying not to talk too loud. I don't want the rest of the Falcons faithful to hear me, but I think we have to win that game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, one is at home, and two is Arthur Smith. So, and three, let's keep this in mind. It's probably going to be more Steelers fans than Falcon fans in the building. So
it can't be that.
Trust me.
It can't be that, bro. Not this shit, bro. I'm tired of that mess, bro. We have to become the bullies. We have to set the tone.
We know money talk,
I'm tired of y'all trying to sell all y'all tickets. I'm tired of getting the messages on my Facebook. I'm getting messages on my Facebook. Oh, yeah, I got. You said what now, Smitty?
Hey, money talks, but let me be real. If the Falcons win this game convincingly, nobody else will sell their tickets the rest of the season because guess what? That is the jump start that we need for the season to get this thing rolling in the right direction. And the Steelers do run deep. That fan base travel all over the world. So trust me, if it's not more Steelers fans, it's going to be 50-50. And we have to still have that edge on the field.
We got to do it, man. It starts with us, the Falcons faithful, man. We cannot allow teams to come in here and feel like, they're at a home game. I'm tired of that as a Falcon fan. That's the one thing that just irks me, going to our home stadium and seeing, some more of the colors of the other team there. Like, come on now, what are we doing? Are we fans or what? You know what I'm saying? But going back to Kirk Cousins, though, real quickly, honestly, the bottom line, I feel like he's a veteran. He will be fine. But I can't lie, man. I do want to see him in like one series. Shoot, man. Hey, Mark takes it right out of my mouth right here, man. Come on now. Kirk got to play at least one series like Ritter. I at least want to see him play one series. He doesn't have to play much, but game speed is different from practice speed.
You don't want to take a chance, bro.
You don't even want to
take that chance.
See him just in one series. Just in one series, just to see what we can. We're going to
get it week one. He'll get it week one. You can shake that rust in week one.
Okay. All right. If that's how y'all feel, man, that's how y'all feel, man. Me personally, I would love to see him, throw the ball around, even if it's just for a
Hey,
series, man.
he'll he'll have all the chances he wants. Cause guess what? Arthur Smith play calling, we know it's suspect. So Russell Wilson or Justin Fields will give us the ball 3-4 extra times the game during the game. So trust me, he'll get a lot of reps that game.
Right. That's true, man. I mean, honestly, with this whole thing, if Kirk doesn't play in the preseason, the good thing about it is we will see plenty of Michael Penix. I know what you were saying earlier, Bryce. That's nice about Taylor and how he wants to show how great he's a quarterback and everything. That's wonderful. I understand that we didn't have the best situation of a coach last year to help him with that. I admit, but at the same time, I'm ready to see Michael Penix, and I want to see Michael Penix get a lion's share of the snaps. Yeah, so we can leave some for Taylor. Yeah, we can let Taylor, play some in the preseason, of course. But Michael Penix has to be, a focal point in this preseason. I want to see as much as Michael Penix behind center as we possibly can, because we need to get at least a glimpse of what our future is going to hold. And with Michael Penix being able to get these line shares, we already know what Kirk Cousins is, and we already know what we're hoping he's going to be coming off of an injury. That's another reason why I want to see him at least in one series. I kind of want to see him move around in game speed, but I'll wait to week one. If everybody else have to wait to week one, I do too. But we'll see how that
Yeah,
going
and,
forward.
th-
But
and
yeah,
think about
man,
this too,
I
man.
want to see it.
Think about this too. When we seen the best part of Taylor Heineke in Washington, he was in the same type system that they're going to run this year. Not what Arthur Smith did last year. That was a West Coast offense, but it was variated on the run. When he played that season where he went to the playoffs and they played Tampa in the first round, that was more of a wide open West Coast style offense. So not only does Kirk Cousins gain from this, so does Taylor Heineke, and so does Michael Penix, because he ran a variation of the West Coast in college. So all three quarterbacks will gain from this new offense.
Right. I definitely agree. I definitely agree, man. And I'm just happy going forward, man, that we're going to see more of Michael Penix, and the things to expect from Michael Penix. I think he's going to wow people. But I just want people right now. I want to tell Falcon fans right now, don't get too crazy and too excited when you see the potential and the arm strength and just all the talent, all around talent of Michael Penix.
I
Remember,
watched in the last
Kirk
2 years. I wouldn't be
Cousins.
surprised at all, bro.
Kirk Kirk Cousins is QB1. There is no competition in training camp. I said
Right.
none of that. Regardless, Kirk Cousins is QB1. Just get excited about the future whenever Kirk leaves. Saying let's just get excited about that. But
Right.
what I'm saying? Because you know how people do. And that damn Michael Penix looking good out there, y'all. I
You
don't
sure
know,
he doesn't
man.
need
Maybe
a
we do need
QB1?
to trade him after a year. Hold on. I don't want to hear none of that mess, man. Let's do better, y'all.
Got to do better.
Yeah, man.
Will
Next
Kurt
though,
have his first bad game? I think it's time, guys. I think it's
bro,
one.
and
I think it's time to
real
make it quick.
quick, right? And to Bryce's point about saying fans jumping on Kurt if he has a bad game, I want you guys to know I've been saying behind enemy lines here and there, man. Saying going on a COVID mission, and I've been in these different fan bases, especially in the NFC South. They are waiting for us Falcon fans to turn on Kirk Cousins as soon as we possibly can for Michael
Especially
Penix.
Vikings
They
fans.
just, yeah, man. They want us to implode, and we can't allow it to happen. Straight up, so we can't allow it to happen. So that's why we got to do what we got to do.
They been not said too damn fast because the way they stood behind Desmond Ritter last year, they better not say nothing about switching quarterbacks because we all know
I'm
he should
trying
have
to
been the
tell you,
quarterback from the jump. Let's keep it real.
hey, that's facts now. And speaking of keeping it real, let's keep it real about one of our veterans that we've already spoken about, Grady Jarrett. How productive can Grady be coming off of this injury? Getting into full game speed. Of course, he's going to have modified reps, of course, too. So I expect to see him possibly a little bit. I expect to see Grady in preseason, but especially like going full speed though, and being back into the game, being back into the flow. I know his previous stats over his past couple of seasons haven't been like the best, haven't been tip top now. But you know, he's back now, coming off of an injury, a little older, a little wiser. How productive can Grady Jarrett be this coming season? We'll start with you,
Mm,
Bryce.
mm, mm.
I think I think I think Grady can be good this year. I don't think he's going to be, disappear out there. I think he can still be disruptive at times. Obviously, working your way back from injury like that takes some time. So you may not even see it right away, but you may see it as the season goes on. As you see him get more impactful, you can say you're probably going to hear it during some game broadcasts. Oh, Grady Jarrett, like he's getting back to where he needs to be. Grady Jarrett's looking like the guy that we remember all the years that he's been here in Atlanta. I think because there's a reason why they used to call him Little Aaron Donald, the mini Aaron Donald. All right, there's a reason why people used to call him that. He can be, like I said, a very disruptive player. Can play all different techniques. Can play all over the line. His versatility is very underrated, and I think the Falcons are going to use him, and Jimmy Lake are going to use him all over the place. And like I said, just make sure that whatever role, whatever they need of him, that he can do, which I think pretty much it's going to be a process, and then they'll just evaluate him through modified reps, through preseason reps, and then get into the regular season, and you'll see where he is and what you can expect from him.
Right.
So, once that happens, I think, we'll see the Grady Jarrett that we need. Because like you said, him and David have to be big this year for us. They are one of the best duos in the league in the interior of a defensive line. So if he can get back to where he was last year, that will bode well. I mean, remember, there were times where he led this team in sacks because he can also get after the passer at times. So if he can show that, be active in the run game, I think especially with the talent around him, because one thing we've always said about him is he just didn't have the talent around him. And that's why it was even more impressive what he's done. Because it's not like he had all these other great linemen around him that took pressure off of him, and then he was doing it. He was doing it basically being the main person that teams
by himself.
So now you have all this young talent. You have David. You have everybody like that who people are excited about. Probably could be maybe potentially more productive in a different scheme this year. I think Grady's set up to have a good season. Will he maybe be all pro Grady Jarrett? Maybe not, but that's okay. As long as he could be a good Grady Jarrett who can be, like I said, make an impact here and there, make key plays like he's done before, even just clutch plays. That's the important part, and that's what I would love to see from Grady Jarrett this year.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off of that. Exactly what he said. He made an awesome points with an S. But yeah, all Grady has to do is be disruptive. What I would love to see for him is help him, for him to help those young guys unleash their talent. I think at 31 years old, I think at this point in his career, his biggest emphasis on this team is probably to help the young guys. And one guy, and I saw it in the chat, I would like to see possibly get off the slide is D'Angelo Malone. It seems like he hasn't found his place on this team. But as I told y'all last year, in certain games, when you have mobile quarterbacks, you have to put the fastest guy, the fastest end that you have on the field. I did not see that. So this year, under Jimmy Lake and Jerry Gray, I would love to see D'Angelo Malone take that next step, get more reps, and possibly get more sacks. Because if you remember that Cincinnati game a couple of years ago, he showed what kind of talent he had. He just did not get the reps to show us his full repertoire of moves. Because like I tell y'all, man, the kid had 30 plus sacks in college. That's hard on any level. So D'Angelo Malone, Arnold Ebiketie, those young guys, I would just love the Grady to help those guys unleash their talent. Because guess what? If he do that, that takes a lot of pressure off him. That takes a lot of pressure off this defensive line, the middle of the defense, should I say, and makes this defense better as a whole, as far as stopping the run, as far as pass defense. So yeah, I would love to see him be disruptive, like Bryce said, and be the run stopper that I know he can be. Because his run stopping ability was damn sure missed last year, and it showed the second half of the season. So
it did.
I would just love to see him be disruptive.
Now, just like you said, it definitely showed, because David Amanyata was out there by himself, and you seen how effective those two were being. They were starting to, you can see they were starting to work together and get more chemistry together as the season was going on. And then boom, the Tennessee game and everything just went down into the crapper after that. And it's and honestly, with Grady, he doesn't have to do too much for me, honestly. Like Grady just can get in there and be productive, be that leader in the locker room, be that leader on the sideline. When guys are, what I'm saying, down on themselves, maybe they didn't make a play, maybe they missed a tackle. I would like Grady Jarrett to just grab those guys and just be like, hey, it's football. It happens. Next play. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be just as simple as that in a Grady Jarrett way. And so to get these guys in line. And D'Angelo Malone, I'm waiting to see him. I want to see more things from Arnold Advocaty. And I believe that Grady Jarrett, along with David Amanyata, those guys can, use their influence, their knowledge, their experience to help these guys, elevate their games and get more reps. And it's going to be, I believe, like the way that it's shaping up for the Falcons and their defense, especially the defensive line. It seems like it's going to be a by committee thing anyway. So I don't need Grady to necessarily go out there and try to get me 10, 15 sacks because we got younger guys who are going to be coming off of their hungry. We got guys who he's going to be able to help with their pass rush moves so they can be able to get to the quarterback. I'm expecting Grady to be more of a teacher of the game, moving forward in his career because, again, he's looked at it from two different perspectives, playing and having to watch. So coming off of that, I believe Grady, again, is going to have his best season overall as a football player and a man, helping these guys get to exactly where they need to be and letting these guys get after it and being excited for them, So that's what I'm expecting for Grady. I don't need him to do a whole lot.
And one guy that can help him also, and I don't hear anybody talking about this guy, but he came in last year from the Eagles via trade, and that's Contavious Street. Contavious Street played very well last year. So until Grady gets back to the Grady Jarrett that we know, him rotating in and out with Contavious Street is going to be key. So Contavious Street, Zach Harrison, and those guys, David Onyemata, those guys are going to be key to Grady Jarrett easing his way back into that Pro Bowl form that we know of. And I think Contavious Street can fit the bill because before he got hurt, let's keep it real, he wasn't getting a lot of sacks, but when you're talking about closing gaps, when you're talking about setting the edge, he was doing all of that. So I think he's going to be key as well.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be key, man, because he was brought back for a reason. And that's because he was so productive when Grady was gone. Like, I mean, Contavious, he came in first game, got a fumble recovery. Fourth fumble recovery, came in being disruptive, and he was disruptive, for us as much as he possibly can in that role. So now you have Grady coming back and you still have him. That's going to be able to take some pressure off of Grady. Because you don't want to run Grady into the ground. And that's what's so beautiful, because just imagine this defensive line if it didn't have the depth that it has. Just like everyone's saying in the chat, we have depth on the defensive line, aka Grady has help, something he's hardly ever had, so especially in the last past seasons, Grady out there looking like Kevin Hart, talking about some help me, so it's just like he's gotten help now. So it's beautiful. And I expect Grady Jarrett, to also flourish also with guys like Eddie Goldman if he stays around and make the team. He's also a space eater, and if he can be anything like how he was back with Chicago, we could have something.
There's a lot of competition up there, man. There may be some people that get cut that we may not be the biggest fans of getting cut, but it's just when you have that type of depth and that type of talent, the coaches have a number of how many guys in that front four, front five, or whatever they want to run, they're gonna want to keep. So the best will survive and the strong will survive. So I think that will be definitely something through preseason and training camp to definitely keep an eye on.
Right. Indeed. Well, anything else about that? We're going to move forward to players you're excited to see. Players you're excited to see. It could be one player, 2, 3, Well, I want to start. I'm gonna start with Smitty this go around, man. What are the players that you're excited to see? In chat, please chime in to the players that you're excited to see. Because just like Michael Matthews said, ain't no more playing GA.
I would say Kirk Cousins, but that's too easy. But I'm gonna say the wide receiver core, and the reason why, I want to see Drake London step up to be that number one receiver we drafted him to be. 2, I want to see those speedsters Rondale Moore and Darnell Mooney stretch the field. And with those 3 players, that leads me with my final piece, the number 1 target, Kyle Pitts. If all of those guys can do their job and do it properly, I think Kyle Pitts will have a breakout season and even have a better year than his rookie year. Because, like I said, man, 6'6", 250, 4.4 speed, you can't teach that. In a wide open offense like this, if a tight end can control the middle of the field, if y'all look and watch what George Kittle do in San Francisco, if y'all watch what Travis Kelce do in Kansas City, I think Kyle Pitts has a chance to be better than both of those guys because he's more athletic. His wingspan is 83 inches, so that means he can win contested catches. So the Falcons wide out core and Kyle Pitts is what I'm most excited to see. See, can they help take this offense to the next level? Because we know they can run the ball. We have one of the best offensive lines in the league. We have a dynamic running back in Bijan Robinson. We have a power back in Tyler Algier, who both can be red zone threats. We saw Bijan 4 touchdown catching, 4 touchdown rushing last year, dual threat. So the wide receivers are the biggest question mark. Can they become cohesive and can they help Kirk Cousins take this offense to the next level? That's why I'm excited to see what the wide receiver core can
I like that. What you got, Bryce?
I'll be honestly, I'm excited to see the rookies. I'm excited to see the rookies from Penix to Rook to Dorless to Trice, even Jace McClellan, Casey Washington, guys like that. I'm excited. Even Captain America himself. I'm excited to see all of them just because I'm excited to see what they bring to the table, what this class brings to the table. I know some people initially when we had this draft class maybe wasn't the most excited about it, but now you're kind of looking at some things kind of sitting in place as we get to camp, and you're kind of like, all right, let's see what these guys can do in the roles they'll be placed in. I mean, you kind of heard it today at camp. A lot of the young guys are getting rotated in and out of the rotation, first team, second team, too. Some guys were on the second field, but other guys were playing just different positions and different, being in different formations out there too, because they're trying to see, okay, who's effective and where is a good place for them, because that's a part of the process is trying to learn your players, especially the rookies, because it's not like you can go off what they did in college, but now you want to see how did they fit in with the guys we have on our team right now. So I'm really excited to see how everybody looks, what they bring to the table, and whether that could be maybe a potential starter or valuable depth that we need. Obviously, that's something that people have said the Falcons have lacked at times is depth. And so if you're able to get some good depth from your draft picks, that will be very successful. The first one Terry Fontenot has had without Arthur Smith. So obviously we'll be able to get another set of eyes on this draft class and say, okay, all right, now that he's broken away from him, how does this draft class look now? So I think that's going to be the most exciting part to me, and just seeing how everybody looks. And preseason is a good way to kind of help build excitement for the regular season and for particular players. And, if, like I said, Penix plays well, like you mentioned earlier, if Casey Washington continues to play well, we're going to be like, does he need to get more snaps? Is he someone we need to see on the field more? And et cetera from there. So overall, man, excited to see the young guys for sure.
I'm glad you said something about Casey Washington because he's one of those guys that they've been raving about all offseason.
Yeah.
And if he can step up and get close to that number 4 spot, that's an additional weapon I think the Falcons would have. And you talk about a guy on his rookie deal. If he breaks out his rookie season, that helps Kirk Cousins, that helps Michael Penix, that helps the Atlanta Falcons as a whole. Because guess what? That's one less contract you got to pay. So, Casey Washington, 6'2", 200 pounds, physical receiver. I can't wait to see what he can do. In preseason, we're going to see exactly what they were raving about.
Man, I can't even lie to you. You guys really, hitting the nail with the hammer right here, man, honestly. But I'm excited to see Zach Harrison, man. I'm excited to see what Zach Harrison, can he improve on the final stretch of the season. I think he can. I've been looking at some film. I'm really high on Zach Harrison this year. So that's one particular player I'm going to be looking to make sure that he's improving. I believe he has the potential to be at one of our best, if not the best lineman we have, just from effort, IQ, being able to create a new line of scrimmage so he can be able to get to the quarterback. It's just so many things that he does. He can be able to check the gaps and still keep containment, which is something that's hard to do in football, and it's something that he does with effortlessly. So I'm looking to see Zach Harrison. I want to see what Richie Grant has to offer. Because Raheem he vouched for him, so that's my only thing. Like Raheem, he vouched for him. So since you vouched for him, that's a guy that I'm really looking to see. Okay, let's see how you use him. Let's see how you possibly unlock Richie Grant to take better angles, to put him in better positions so he can be out there doing what he needs to do. And I can also say probably D'Angelo Malone. I want to see if he can make the team. Want to see if he can show his athletic ability, show what he was doing at Western Kentucky, so he can get on the field, man. So I would love to see those guys right there, really on the defense. I mean, offense, of course, I'm looking at some guys, but I'm more interested on a few players on the defensive side. Of course, the rookies. I want to see all the rookies, but those three players that I just said in particular are guys who I'm excited to see, and hopefully we can see more of.
Make Way Sports, what's good, man? Y'all go check him out on YouTube. Doing his thing on YouTube. Please go check him out.
Indeed. You see the Falcon faithful, they're in here saying different names, man. We see Eddie Goldman, we see Cal Pitts, ready to see the 3-4 to see the linebackers in the 3-4 group, it's a lot of excitement. We even see a Ray McLeod sighting, even seeing a Ray McLeod. So I mean, it's a lot of position battles, and that's what's going to make this so beautiful. I can't wait to see Braylon Trice as well, man. All the rookies, rookies, I'm ready to see. I'm
gonna throw out a veteran name right quick though.
What you got?
I want to see Jake Matthews bounce back. Last year, he looked his age. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. He was getting beat on a lot of plays. His footwork looked kind of slow. He just looked old last year. But this year, on the new offensive coordinator, new scheme, I just want to see him get that bounce back in his feet, man, because he just looked old last year. But if he can do that and he show us why he's been here, why he's been the Iron Man in the NFL for the last 10 years, I would love to see Jake Matthews bounce back this year, because he has a hell of a player next to him in Matt Bergeron, who I think is going to be a beast. And I think Chris Lindstrom is teaching Matt Bergeron all the ropes. So we could see this top 5 offensive line just take off this year. And Jake Matthews might be the key to that happening, because we know the right side is very questionable with Storm Norton and Caleb McGarrett. But at the same time,
Dang, Bryce, not to throw that. Bryce, you did not just throw your head back with the laugh.
Listen, man. Listen, hey, Caleb McGarry redemption season coming up, man. Cooking up right now, man. Wait for it, man. He listening to his Magnum music. He'll be ready to go. He'll be ready to protect for Kirk Cousins. You ready to make sure the American flag?
That's where I was about to go. That was about to go with Jake Matthews as well. Jake Matthews is the key to protecting Kirk's cousin blind side. So if you protecting $100 million in the bank, you got to be that guy that's got to be the vault to lock it up. So he's going to be key to this offense taking that next step.
Hey man, Jake just got to go ahead and get him a nice regiment to where he got some good stretching, some good mobility work going on. He may have to get more. He may have to become more nimble. He may have to do that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Take some ballerina classes.
The thing about it is, you'd be surprised about the certain things that help you on the field, especially when you're playing a physical game. But our last thing before we get up out of here, man, because we didn't want to take too much of your time, but bold prediction for training camp, man. You just give me one bold prediction that you got for this year's Falcons training camp, one of the most exciting training camps that we can't see unless you're going to the high school, unless you're going to the Benz. So, but just give me a bold prediction. I'm going to start with my man Bryce.
Bold prediction. We were just talking about him. Caleb McGarry will not be the starter after preseason. Storm Norton will win the job.
He said that with his chest.
Boy, you ain't see it. My goodness, boy. Bring your check down a little bit, boy.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir. We listen. He got first team reps today. Just saying. Hey, they're
Yeah.
saying right now Caleb's the starter, but hey, all it takes is Caleb having a little bit of struggles. Storm Norton able to play consistently well. If I'm
Storm
Raheem,
can
you gotta
mess
make that.
around.
Gotta consider it.
Yeah.
Stay. Just saying,
My bold
Storm
prediction,
impressed.
I think Caden Ellis takes one of the outside linebacker positions, and Nate Landman and Troy Anderson will run the middle.
Mm. Say that one more time for the people in the back.
Caden Ellis will win one of the outside linebacker positions. So I think Lorenzo Carter is out of here. And Nate Landman and Troy Anderson will man the middle.
Okay.
That gives you three playmakers on the field at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold on. Penix to Washington. Oh, Casey Washington. I had to bounce back. I was about to say, hold on, sir. Wait a minute. Ain't nobody trading Penix, okay? I'm about to say that's a hell of a bold prediction. I was about to have to get him, man. Like, hold on, wait a minute. What we doing? But okay, now bold prediction
Chris
for
about to
me.
get hotter than a crock pot then, boy.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm talking about hair for the stand on top of the head, everything, my boy. Like, what's going on? Nah, but seriously, my bold prediction is going to be, I think it's going to be 3 veteran players that get cut for rookies. I'm not sure who the 3 veterans could be. It could be Kendall Hodge. I mean, could be Lorenzo Carter.
Hodge, I can see that. Yeah, I can see
You know
that.
what I'm saying? Could be Kadero Hodge, could be, you know what I'm saying, Lorenzo Carter, could be, who knows? Who knows, man? You know, could be a Richie Grant. I don't know, man. It could be, somebody in that area, you know. So I do want to see Casey Washington too. I'm not gonna lie about that too. But yeah, it could be one of those guys, man. I'm thinking Lorenzo Carter has to play has to have the training camp of all training camps with this depth that we have for the Atlanta Falcons. He has to have like his best training camp to stay. He has so many guys nipping at his heels that it's ridiculous, especially for the money that he's being paid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think three guys are going to step up. 3 rookies, 3 first year, or I'll throw a first year guy in there. Somebody that's already went through his second year guy. That's what I'm meaning to say. Sorry about that. But yeah, so a second year guy or one of the rookies. I believe 3 veterans are out of here. Even if it's thank you, Undercover Shiesty. I even forgot he was even on the team.
Yes,
I
sir.
do not expect Kevin King to be on this team. I do not expect that. I know he's a Jerry Gray guy. I don't care. The man hasn't played football, hasn't been in game speed, anything like
4
that.
years.
Come on, family. So I'm just saying, I mean, if he comes back and outperforms Mike Hughes, I'm not mad. But I'm just saying, I just don't see it like happening like that. I don't know. You know. Salute, my brother. I love it. I love it. But yeah, man. That's my bold prediction, though, man. Yeah, man. 3 veterans are out of here because 3 rookies stepped up and took your spot. And what they say in love and basketball, never let a rookie take your spot. But I believe it's going to happen. I definitely believe it's going to happen, y'all. But guys, thank you guys so much for coming on and doing this quick pop-up video because it wasn't necessarily planned. We had an idea, but honestly, with the Falcons having training camp, it's going to be things that we can just wake up, get a good stretch in, and then just pop up and be like, hey, that's a topic we need to talk about, to bring it to you guys, the Falcon faithful, who we always love and support you guys and love the support from you guys. So please, Bryce, Smitty, let the people know where they can find you before we slide.
Yeah, man. Y'all already know y'all can follow me on social. Bricey_2K, BRICEY_2K. Catch all my content on my YouTube channel or my reactions, thoughts on the team, Hawks, Falcons related as well. Also host the Believe in Hawks podcast if you are a Hawks fan, available on any podcast platform. Also, I will be able to be at Atlanta Falcons training camp for 2 days next week for Tuesday and Wednesday practices. So definitely, like I said, follow me on Twitter. I'll be updating, putting out any highlights of practice, things like that. I'm very hopeful they'll be in pads, so maybe we'll see someone get lit up. So, obviously, and everything like that. So definitely appreciate all the support and appreciate you, Smitty. Appreciate you, Chris.
Hey, man, don't say lit up because some of the wrong person might get hit. But
yeah, that's the problem. Listen, I don't know if y'all seen that Houston Texans video.
Yeah,
they've been doing.
That's why I said it.
They decapitating Stephon Diggs out there.
Well, they not too many next week. But
man,
you can find me on Twitter at fatboyslam_21. That's why I do most of my work. You can catch me on Facebook some of the time, but not much. But mostly I'm on YouTube dropping videos. So if y'all have questions, I'll drop them on YouTube. They make for great videos, man, and give us great ideas and great insight on what a lot of fans think. And that's how I get a lot of my content, man. Right. So catch me on YouTube, Smitty Sports Machine. And Tuesday, we're gonna have fun, man. We're gonna talk about defensive line on the 95 North Sports Machine, and y'all keep a watch out, man, because that 95 North Sports Machine channel is gonna pop up soon, and we're gonna need all of y'all help to get that thing running. And one more thing before I get out of here, man, I need one more sub to get to 11,000, man. YouTube tripping, and I can't get past that 999 mark, so I just need one more sub to get to 11,000, man.
Sir.
And from 11,000, we're gonna
tell a
take
friend,
off,
man.
And we're gonna go way beyond 11,000, man.
Yes, sir. I need to go subscribe to Smitty.
Yeah, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing. Well, and that's for me, man. Hey, man. A1 Forever Sports, the show that's cool and fly too, man. Be generational because it's always time to be. And don't you settle for less because you always can have more with the vision. I like to thank each and every last one of you guys, my supporters, as I just crossed over 1,100 on YouTube now. So mind blowing and, absolutely humbling as I continue to try to grow my page. I'll say more and more. Help Smitty get to 11,000. Help Bryce, get to 1,000 and beyond as well. I'm subscribed to both of these two gentlemen. You guys should be too. And I encourage each and every last one of you guys to find your peace today. Positive energy always creates elevation. And that's how you find your peace today. Plus, it should be a little bit easier because guess what? Falcons training camp. We got football back. So it should be a little bit more easier to find that peace, But either way it go, man, find me on Twitter, A1 Forever, same as Instagram. Of course, the platform on YouTube, A1 Forever Sports, and also TikTok, the real A1 Forever as well, man. Come on by, have a conversation, give me a like, comment, sub, whatever it is, Yeah. And thank you guys, the Falcon faithful who are in the chat. Love you guys, man. Appreciate you guys always tuning in, showing us love. And just like Smitty said, when we drop that page, we're going to need you guys even more as we're going to be running some content through that page. And we'll still have our individual pages as well, but we're going to be running stuff through that page. So just look forward to that. It's on the way, y'all. So for Bryce and for Smitty, and of course myself, and for my brother, Boston Burt, we're going to get up out of here, man, and we're going to talk to y'all in a minute.
A1. Yeah, truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Jam.